Acceptance of my destiny. The birth of Masky. I'm sitting at my kitchen table, working my way slowly through my liquor cabinet. Right now, I'm working on a fifth of Southern Comfort with a tumbler and a bucket of ice. I'm drinking with my friends. Brian is here, Jay, even Alex, before he went crazier than me. Yeah, I know they ain't really here, but in my highly drunken state, I just don't care. We're all just sitting here laughing, joking, and cutting up like we used to before Alex's stupid movie. In the middle of my table is a bottle of my meds. Got filled this morning, plan to use every single one tonight. I don't want anyone else to suffer or die because of me. It's all my fault my friends are dead, but I don't want to think about that right now. I just want to spend my last night drinking with my buddies. As I drink more, my emotions start a downward spiral. Jay asks, "What's wrong, Tim?" I tell him nothing. Everything is fine. But I can see a scarlet flower blooming on his shirt where Alex shot him. Tears are now flowing down my face. Alex tells some corny joke we've all heard about 1,000 times, and as I listen to him, I see a thin, bloody line going on his neck, where he forced me to stab him. I realize the whole time we've been sitting here, he's been playing with that knife I killed him with. I tell them how sorry I am about all the trouble I've caused. Alex and Jay look at me as though they have no idea what I'm talking about. But Brian, he cocks his head to the side and looks at me as if puzzled. I reach for the bottle of pills, opening it, shaking a few into my mouth. I just gulp from the bottle now. I'm up to the tequila now. Brian asks me, "Do you really think all of this was your fault? We all had major flaws where he couldn't have gotten to us." I shake a few more pills into my mouth, followed by more gulping from the bottle as I watch Brian pull up his hood and pull down the familiar frowny face mask, becoming the hooded man I pushed from a window. My vision is beginning to double as Brian reaches across the table and squeezes my hand. He's wearing a pair of black work gloves. He snags a tumbler in front of me and adds ice and pours from the bottle. He raises his mask to right below his nose and takes a sip, sighing. "I wish you would join me, Tim. We could still be best friends, always together, brothers." I can hear the longing in his voice. "I'm trying," I tell him. "You can," he says. "Just say yes when the time comes." I'm kinda confused by this, and look around at Jay and Alex, who seem to be fading away, leaving me and Brian alone together. Another mouthful of pills and a few gulps to wash them down, and I need another bottle. At this point, I'm openly crying now, and begging Brian to forgive me. He looks at me. "There's nothing to forgive. As a matter of fact, I've never been happier." "But there is one thing missing, though," he tells me. "What?" I ask him. "You, having my best friend with me, always by my side, will make my life absolutely perfect." He says, his voice is very low, and I'm having trouble making sense of what he's saying. I'm really starting to feel the effects of my OD and the alcohol poisoning starting to set in. My body is all numb and tingly, but it feels nice, so I'll just keep going. I finish off the last of the pills and follow up with a few more swallows of booze. I have no idea what I'm drinking now, and I ask Brian, "Why don't you hate me?" "Why would I? You're my best friend. I just hope you can forgive me for what's next." "Hate you for what? Keeping me company as I end my own life?" "No, This won't be the end if you don't want it to be, he says rather cryptically. I turn my head to the right and see something that almost stops my heart. The masked man, my alter ego or other personality. His voice is somewhat deeper and rougher than mine, more like a growl than actual words. Why do you run from me? He asks. Because you ain't me. I'm me, I yell at him. I tried to protect your friend. I've always protected you. I only have your best interest at heart, he says rather tiredly. Had, not have. I got rid of you. I shout at him. He slowly fades away, leaving only the mask behind on the table in front of me. I take the last few sips in the bottle and toss it into the trash near me, snagging another one. I open it, take a large gulp. I reach out and run my fingers over the smooth surface of the mask. I seem to get small bursts of static as my hand makes contact with it. But I blame it on the drugs and the booze. At least I'll slip out of this world peacefully, which is a whole lot better than how I lived in it. I say mainly to myself. I pick the mask up, studying it intently. Brian takes another sip of his drink. The ice in his glass rattles against the sides, getting my attention. His head is cocked to the side, and it seems even with the mask on, I'm pretty sure he's staring at me. Try it on, he says. I shake my head. No. Nothing good ever happens when I put that damn thing on. Man, you couldn't even stand up right now. Much less hurt someone, so go ahead, see how it feels to actually choose to put it on. I do as he asks. And it feels good. Actually, better than good. It feels right. I pull it up a bit, and as I try to take the last sip of my bottle, the world goes dim. My vision tunnels into darkness. I can hear Brian talking to me, but he sounds very far away and muffled. I know this is the end, and I'm finally ready. I feel like shit. My head hurts like someone dropped a 2-ton boulder on it. I groan and try to open my eyes. The other voice in my head is screaming at me to fight, and this time I listen. I struggle to open them just as a loud burst of static suddenly fills my brain, and I see flashbacks from my childhood. Someone is speaking directly into my head, it seems. Do not fear me, child. I know you better than you know yourself. I've always been with you, to guide and protect you. Strangely enough, I am absolutely calm at this moment. I feel nothing but warmth and love coming from this very familiar voice. Seems as if I've been hearing it my whole life. I believe you know my other child, whom I've named Hoodie. I slowly opened my eyes, and to my pleasant surprise, there stood Brian, safe and sound, only as the hooded man. He had his hand out to me, and I take it. He embraces me like a long-lost brother. Would you like to live again? Be with your friend, and with a better life than you ever thought possible? Asked the being I've spent my entire life running from. What do you want in return? I asked, knowing good and well nothing in life is free. Only that you belong to me, the being replied. At this point, Hoodie finally speaks up. His voice is different, sounding more mechanical. It's actually pretty great, Tim. We simply work for the Master and we have no other worries. He takes very good care of us. Just do as he asks and life can be glorious. It sounds too good to be true, I reply. child," says the soothing voice inside my head. "Let me speak to the other side of you, if you will." "I can't control that," I tell him. "But I can," he says, and suddenly it feels as if my brain is tearing itself apart. I feel a warm liquid running over my mouth and chin as my nose begins to bleed. I feel very strange. I can hear both of them talking, but I can't actively participate in the conversation. Hoodie puts a comforting hand on my shoulder. "Could you serve me?" that thing asks me. "I get to come out whenever I want?" I ask kind of skeptically. "Yes, and do all the things he," meaning Tim, "won't let you do now. You see, I know all about you. You're the dark one, the ruthless one. I could definitely use someone with your considerable talents. But you will serve me well, or you both most certainly will die. Do I make myself clear?" "Yeah." "Yes, what?" demanded the being. "Yes, master." I can't fucking believe this. He agreed. I see my friend and he's alive and happier than I've ever seen him. "Tim, please," he begs. "Renounce your old life. Start again with me. I don't want to be alone. I need you. Master's very kind, almost like a father. And in a way, we do a very good thing. We make the world better," he says pleadingly, trying to convince me. But I really feel it has always been my destiny to be here with them like this. "I accept," I say quickly before I can change my mind. The tall, faceless being turns to look at me. "Are you sure? Because there is no going back," he asks. "Yes," I say, nodding. "Kneel before me. Do you offer me your life and loyalty forever?" "Yes, master," I say simultaneously with the voice in my head. "You will bear my mark. It will be a sign to all that you belong to me. It will be a bond between us, the benefit being we can communicate at will, and if ever you need me or I you, we will automatically know." And with that, a long tendril snaked its way up my open shirt to rest directly over my heart. A scorching sensation burrows its way under my skin. I scream in pain and black out. As I come to, Hoodie is kneeling beside me. I can feel his worry, but also his extreme happiness. And it makes me feel happy too. As I struggle to sit up, he puts a hand on my shoulder and helps me into a sitting position. I take a few deep breaths to steady myself and try to stand. Hoodie, as if reading my thoughts, helps me stand and pulls me into a hug. I pull down my mask, pleased with how it feels. After I'm steady on my feet, I realize he hasn't let go of my hand yet. And like we did as children, we start to walk away hand in hand together. I hear his voice say, "Welcome home, brother. Welcome home, Masky."